Hello, my Oakland's friends, especially children and youth. I miss being with you. And while we can't be together, I thought maybe I'd start sending you a little greeting from time to time. And today I wanted to send you a telling of the story from this Sunday. This Sunday in worship, we're going to be talking about a Bible passage. It comes from the book of Exodus, chapter 16, verses 2 through 15. I'm going to read this to you a little different than we'll read it on Sunday, and maybe it'll make a little more sense to you. While you're listening, I invite you to think about different foods you like to eat when you're hungry, and maybe to draw some of those pictures of food. And if you want to draw it, I would love to see a picture. Also, think about the words or the phrases that you might think about when you think of wilderness. Or maybe you want to draw a wilderness. What are some wilderness experiences you've had in your life? Listen now to this story of God and God's people. After God had persuaded Pharaoh to let Moses and the people of Israel leave Egypt, and after God had shown Moses and the people a surprising way to cross the water into freedom, there was still a long, long way to go. The only way to go was to walk. Day after day, after day, after day, Moses led the people of Israel further and further away from Egypt and further into the desert. The sun was hot during the day. The wind was cold at night. The people ran out of food and they started to grumble. They said, "We are so tired and so hungry. We want figs and meat and fish and cucumbers and melons and olives and leeks and garlic and loaves of bread. All the delicious food that we had when we were in Egypt. We're dying of hunger out here in the desert." Moses didn't know what to do. So Moses asked God, and God took care of the people. That night, small birds, they're called quail, came so that the people could catch them. Enough for everyone to eat, so no one was hungry. Then the people grumbled, "We're not used to this kind of meat." The next morning, fine, flaky wafers of bread called manna appeared on the ground, enough for everyone to eat, so that no one was hungry. The people didn't know what it was, and so they grumbled and said, "What is this? This isn't fish or cucumber or figs. It surely isn't melon. Who asked for this?" Moses said, "It's the bread God has given you to eat." It wasn't what the people were used to, and it wasn't what they wanted, but it was just what they needed. There was enough for everyone, and so everyone was able to eat, and no one was hungry. God was taking care of the people, even if it wasn't the way they wanted. So write down or draw or talk to someone and share what images represent desert or wilderness for you. When is a time in your life when you didn't have enough, but then when it was given, it wasn't what you wanted? And maybe even write down a list of some of your favorite foods, or even what you most like to eat when you're hungry. And send me a note. Let me know what you think. And always know that you are loved by your church, by your pastor, and most importantly, by God.